Hi everyone, welcome to CA 324 Persuasion here in Dana 20. We'll be meeting here from 1 to 1:50 Monday, Wednesday, Friday. As I said in the last video that I actually recorded yesterday, I would introduce the course now. As you might be able to tell, so a couple of things have changed. I now have this nice bag of blood pumping into my veins. So if you've never seen a blood transfusion, there you go. You're saying this is gross, I know, but hey, thank you to anybody who's ever donated blood before, because I needed it today. So that's what's going on with me. Obviously, things are still in the hospital, but we're moving right along. And so I wanted to welcome you to Persuasion. This class is a fun class for me. I'm really excited about it, I recognize, though, that of all the classes that I'm teaching this semester, this might be the class that's most resistant to me simply because of the books. I do realize that I asked you to purchase two books, Persuasion and Propaganda here, it does appear to be thick, and Rhetoric Online here, which is nowhere near as thick, but nonetheless, combined with the other one, seems like a lot. I can assure you that it does seem like a lot, but we will be breaking it down in very small increments, and we won't be reading absolutely everything. I've cut out some of the stuff that just isn't necessary or useful for you at this point in time. So don't be overwhelmed by the actual size of the books. It's just that no one persuasion book could really cover what I really wanted to talk about this semester. So you do need to purchase both books. Make certain that the Persuasion and Propaganda book is the 5th edition, and the Rhetoric Online book is the 2nd edition. There are significant differences between the editions on these books. Sometimes the editions you can get away with it. They really changed a lot on these, so you're not going to be able to get away with anything not buying these particular editions. So sorry about that, but that is necessary. So I just want to take a couple moments now to tell you what we will be focusing on in the Persuasion class. Really, as you can tell by the one book, Persuasion is Persuasion and Propaganda oftentimes taught together. The interesting thing about Persuasion from a communication perspective is it's one of the courses that can be taught a variety of different ways. There's something that they call compliance gaining. And compliance gaining is persuasion where the study of how I get you to do what I want you to do. And that is much more aligned to social scientific kind of research, the type of research I don't do, and it's very statistical based, so I didn't do that for you, so you should thank me. I've saved you a lot of math reading that way by not focusing on compliance gaining. But that's one way people typically tend to focus on persuasion. Persuasion is also seen by many as synonymous with rhetoric. It's not, but rhetoric and persuasion have a long history of going together. There's lots to do with lots of rhetoric in persuasion, but rhetoric's a little bit more than just persuasion, and we'll talk about that throughout the semester as well. So we're going to take a much more interesting look at persuasion. We're going to start with Persuasion and Propaganda. In this book, we're really going to focus on sort of what is propaganda, what is persuasion, make certain we understand the difference between the two of those, how they've changed throughout time, especially early time. Take some time early in the semester to look at persuasion in media, because as I said in the last video, we're really going to be focusing on the media. And once we talk about propaganda in the media, then we're going to switch to Rhetoric Online, and that'll be about a third of the way through the semester. And when we switch to Rhetoric Online is when we're really going to focus on the media in today's day and age. So hopefully I think you're going to find that very interesting. Believe it or not, I'll be able to bring in everything from Facebook to Family Guy when we get to that part of the chapter, or part of the semester. So we'll have a lot more fun, I think. Not that we're not going to have fun with the other part, but this part I think you're really going to like. I really like this book. It's very easy to digest, and it's got a lot of cool examples. One of the best things about that book is it deals with the election of 2010, and hey, here we are. The election of 2012 is coming up. So one of your major projects will be to focus on, as a group project, to change the election in Defiance community. So you are going to make a persuasive project that tries to have a real significant influence on the election here at Defiance College, so and in the Defiance community, and we'll see what happens. It should be a fun opportunity to use some of the ideas in both books. Hopefully, you're not doing propaganda, but persuasion, legitimate persuasion. But we'll talk about that and a lot of the fun ideas. There's a lot of fun ideas that we can play with, and we'll be working. Hopefully, pick some groups that are pretty media savvy. Maybe you can be as creative as you want. So we should have a lot of fun with that. That'll take us towards the end of the semester, where after the election we'll return to propaganda and persuasion. We'll sort of look at how we do a critical analysis of persuasion and propaganda in groups. Again, we'll dissect already done case studies, and from those case studies it'll give you some practice to figure out how to dissect it. In the final paper due at the end of the semester will involve you dissecting a contemporary or historical bit of persuasion or propaganda. We should have some fun with that too. So there's a lot of interesting opportunities that are available with persuasion and propaganda. We'll stick to the ideas of the book, but I don't want to just focus on the book because that can get boring. And so instead of that, I'd like to make certain you know up front that the reading is expected. The reading isn't a lot. I think the largest is like 20 pages, and that's one dose. The rest are 10 or fewer. That's not a lot to ask for a 300 level course. And it's important that you do the reading so that we can use those as examples, so that we can bring in other examples and perhaps some more interesting examples. Because one of the fun things about persuasion and propaganda is we get to have a little fun being a little ominous and being a little conspiratorial sometimes. So, if you do the reading, we can go beyond that and start talking about the darker side of governments and things like that. But if you don't do the readings, then we're stuck just regurgitating what you should have read. That's going to make for a boring semester. I don't want to do that. I know you don't want to do that. So I please make certain that you get the books, you do the readings. And so hopefully when we begin the readings, which will be next week, we'll be able to enjoy what we're reading. In the meantime, I hope that you realize now that your lives can no longer be separate from the election. Start paying attention to the news. I know so many college students just hate the news. Oh, it's not for me. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. You care. You're going to have to care, and you're going to have to care real quick. Trust me, when I was a college student, the year I started was the year of the 2000 election. And, the past 12 years have been significant and really impacted your ability to be college students, my ability to get through college and graduate school and all this stuff. It's very important that you understand the methods of persuasion that are involved in politics and in the media in general, and not even just what seems so obvious. So we're going to have fun ruining the media for you. We're going to have fun making you look at politics and find those connections. So it should be fun. I hope you enjoy this semester. In the meantime, hopefully I don't need any more blood. This should be the last of it. Fingers crossed. If not, I will be coming after you. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. And hopefully I'll be well enough to be back soon. But if not, I will continue to make alternative arrangements until I can come back. But it shouldn't be too long. I'm back. I'm feeling better today than I did yesterday, so that's great news. Who does a thumbs up anymore? It's not very stupid. Okay, I'm dumb. I do stupid things. Again, remember in the past video I said if you make fun of me, just do it to my face. So, make fun of me to my face for the thumbs up. That was stupid. In the meantime, I hope everyone has a great second day of class. Professor Dries, thank you very much again, and she'll be going over the rest of the syllabus. It's not too much more than what I've already said, some standard course policy, things like that. In the meantime, have a great evening. It's 11 o'clock now. I'm going to go watch Conan, maybe take my mind off of the vampireness here.